digging into something fundamental. Social Security, it's kind of the bedrock of retirement finance for so many people.
It absolutely is. The data we looked at shows that without it, something like 4 out of 10 people over 65 would actually fall below the poverty line. It's huge.
Yeah, you really can't overstate it. So our mission today is pretty focused. We want to tackle two big questions people always ask. One, how do they even figure out your check amount? And two, the big one, is this whole system going broke before younger folks like us get anything?
Right. Those are definitely the core anxieties we hear. Let's start with the mechanics, how you actually get that check.
Okay, eligibility first.
Yeah, eligibility. Basically, you need 40 credits. Sounds like a lot, but it usually just takes 10 years of working. For 2025, you get the max 4 credits for the year just by earning $7,240. Pretty achievable for most workers over a decade.
Okay, so getting eligible isn't the super high bar, it's the amount that gets complicated right on.
Yeah.
Exactly. The calculation itself, that's where the details matter. It boils down to 2 main things. First, your earnings over your entire career, specifically your 35 highest earning years.
See, that's the catch I think trips people up. If someone, say, took 7 years off work, maybe raising kids or caring for family, what happens then?
Well, the system doesn't just ignore those years. It plugs in a 0 for each year less than 35 that you worked. So 7 years off. That means 7 zeros averaged into your calculation.
Oof. That sounds like it would seriously drag down your benefit amount. A huge penalty, really.
It absolutely does. It can significantly lower your potential monthly payment. And then there's the second factor, the wage cap.
Right, the earnings limit.
Yeah. For 2025, only your earnings up to $176,100 actually count towards calculating your Social Security benefit. And importantly, that's also the maximum amount of income you pay Social Security taxes on.
Okay, so if you earn like $300,000, you're only paying Social Security tax on that first $176,100.
That's exactly right. Anything above the cap isn't taxed for Social Security, and it also doesn't boost your future benefit check.
Interesting. Does that ever, get pushed back? Seems like the higher your income, the smaller the percentage of your total income is actually taxed for the system.
Oh, absolutely. That's a constant point of discussion about fairness and funding, but that is how the structure currently works. Now, let's shift gears a bit to timing, because this is crucial.
Okay, when you actually decide to start taking benefits.
Precisely. Your full retirement age, or FRA, if you were born in 1960 or later, is 67. You can claim as early as age 62.
That is a catch, right?
Big catch. Claiming early means a permanent reduction in your monthly benefit. It's about a 6.66% cut for each year before your FRA. So claiming at 62 means roughly a 30% smaller check forever compared to waiting until 67.
Wow, 30% is substantial. But what about waiting past 67?
That's where the incentive comes in. For every year you delay claiming past your FRA up until age 70, you get an 8% increase in your benefit. This is often called a delayed retirement credit.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's connect those dots. We saw this in the numbers if you claim at 62 versus waiting all the way until 70. The difference is massive.
It's staggering. The math shows that waiting until age 70 results in a monthly benefit that's 76% higher than what you'd get if you claimed at the earliest possible age, 62.
76%. That's not just a little bonus. That fundamentally changes retirement planning. That's a huge lever you can pull.
It really underscores how critical that timing decision is for your overall retirement security. It's probably the single biggest choice most people make regarding Social Security.
Okay, so the potential payout difference is huge. But that just makes people more nervous about the other big question. Is the money even going to be there? Is the system going broke?
Right, the solvency question. It's important to understand how it's funded. Social Security primarily runs on a pay-as-you-go system. Today's workers' payroll taxes, that FICA line on your pay stub, mostly pay for today's retirees' benefits.
So it's not like a giant savings account waiting for me.
There is a trust fund built up from past surpluses, but the projections show that fund might be depleted around, say, 2035 based on current trends.
Okay, depleted sounds bad. That sounds like bankruptcy.
It sounds dire, but it doesn't mean benefits stop. Even if the trust fund runs out, the ongoing payroll taxes are still projected to cover about 79% of the promised benefits.
So not zero, but potentially a cut.
Yeah.
Like a 21% cut across the board, unless Congress steps in.
Exactly. It signifies a funding shortfall, not a complete collapse. And given how incredibly popular Social Security is across all demographics, it's extremely unlikely that Congress would just let benefits get cut by over 20%.
What would they likely do then? Raise taxes? Change the retirement age again?
Those are the main options discussed. Things like gradually raising the full retirement age further, increasing the payroll tax rate slightly, or importantly, raising or even eliminating that wage cap we talked about earlier so higher earners contribute more. Some combination is probably the most likely path. The system needs adjustments, definitely, but not elimination.
That's reassuring in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, let's touch on a couple of other things people might not know. Spousal benefits.
Yes, this is often overlooked. You might be eligible for benefits based on your spouse's work record, even if you have little or no earnings history yourself. This also applies potentially to a deceased spouse or even an ex-spouse.
The ex-spouse rule always surprises people. You can claim on their record if you were married for at least 10 years and meet other criteria, right?
That's correct. Typically, you could get up to 50% of your spouse's full retirement benefit amount, or a bit less for an ex-spouse, around 32.5% maybe. And crucially, if you claim based on an ex-spouse's record, it does not affect their benefit amount or any benefit their current spouse might receive.
That's good news for amicable divorces, I suppose. Okay, one last critical area. Taxes. People assume Social Security is tax-free, but it's not always, is it?
Definitely not always. This is a major tax trap alert. Your Social Security benefits can become taxable if your total income exceeds certain thresholds.
And what counts as total income here? This is key.
It's what the IRS calls combined income. That's your adjusted gross income, plus non-taxable interest, plus half of your Social Security benefits for the year. If that total number goes over certain limits, like $25,000 for a single filer or $32,000 for married filing jointly, then some of your benefits start becoming taxable.
And it can be a significant chunk, right? Up to 85% of your benefits could be subject to federal income tax if your income is higher, say, over $34,000 for single filers.
Exactly. And this is where a retirement account strategy becomes really important. Withdrawals from traditional 401k or traditional IRAs, those count as taxable income, pushing up your combined income.
So taking money out of your traditional retirement accounts could actually trigger taxes on your Social Security benefits.
Precisely. This is a huge planning point. But here's where Roth accounts really shine.
Because Roth IRA or Roth 401k withdrawals are tax-free.
Tax-free withdrawals from Roth accounts do not count towards that combined income calculation for taxing Social Security benefits. So having significant savings in Roth accounts can potentially keep your Social Security benefits from becoming taxable, saving you a lot of money in retirement. It's not just a small detail, it's a major strategic advantage.
That is a powerful takeaway. Okay, let's wrap this up. Social Security is clearly vital. The average benefit, around $1,976 a month in early 2025.
That's about right. Essential, yes, but it's crucial to remember it was never designed to replace 100% of your pre-retirement income. It typically replaces only about 40%. It's a foundation, a safety net, not the whole retirement plan.
A floor, not the ceiling, as they say.
Exactly. And connecting back to everything we discussed, probably the most impactful decision you have direct control over is when you choose to start taking those benefits.
That 76% difference between claiming at 62 versus 70 really looms large here.
It absolutely does. When you think about it, delaying Social Security is almost like buying longevity insurance. That extra 8% per year you get for delaying past FRA up to 70, that's a guaranteed inflation-adjusted return, which is incredibly hard to find anywhere else, especially for money you'll need potentially late in life.
So the final thought for listeners is maybe this. Don't just think about the monthly check amount. Consider your health, your family longevity, your other savings. How might maximizing that guaranteed inflation-protected Social Security income by waiting until 7 pounds done change your entire approach to drawing down your other retirement assets? It could be the most valuable financial decision you make for your later years.